The right color, too, green. Hello, good morning, everybody. It is Sunday, November 9th, 2025. It is 30 degrees outside Fahrenheit, and it is snowing. Yes, our very first official snowfall of the year here in the greater, the GTA and Scarborough Southwest, where we live. So, yes, it's beautiful outside. Yeah, I got to sit out there with my walker, and we have a balcony, which is cool. And I just sat out there for a few minutes and took in all that cold air. And just, you know, that's one of the three reasons I moved here to Canada, to be with here, of course, be here the rest of my life with my beautiful wife, Suzanne, to be here with our two kitty cats, and of course, the beautiful snowy weather. Oh, I love the snow. Yeah, you could never get that back in Arizona. Not for anything, unless you went north. North, Mr. Walker, north. Or if you go south, I get it down south, baby. Yeah, go to Mount Lemon. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all you had. Two different alternate, you know, directions to catch what we would call white stuff. Woohoo! Yeah, we don't call it snow down there. We didn't call that snow down there in Arizona. It was called white stuff. Yeah. Some of the diehards, that like came over, they go skiing and all that stuff, only for that time of year, and they call it snow. Ha ha ha. Yeah, thank you, Gorilla. It's too damn early for a live stream. Tell it to the beautiful wife over here, okay? I do it anytime I want, dude. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, it's fun though. Hey, Gorilla, so let me guess. You're covered in Minnesota snow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Arctic vortex hit everybody. Everybody. Yeah, we're supposed to have snow all day, all night, most of tomorrow. It takes a brief break, and then we have more on Tuesday. And Wednesday, we have snow and rain. Yeah. So this week is going to be covered in snow. Oh, yeah. Let's make them suffer. Yeah. Imagine what traffic will be like. I don't want to imagine traffic on the 401 here, which is our major highway, with all that snow falling and everything. Of course, people are used to it by now, but because they're Canadians, because they're diehard Northerners here. But oh yeah, it's what we go through. But anyway, of course, we're here. I just decided to go ahead and do it now. Take care of it today before we go to have our apartment complex dinner later this afternoon. It's good to see you there, Mr. Gorilla. Let's see. Okay. So we're looking at season 3, episodes 3 and 4 of both, of course, Get Smart and TOS. And we're trying to get through TOS as fast as possible in the least amount of time. And then we'll try to finish up Get Smart. I think Get Smart is probably going to take at least another month, month and a half, which is fine because a lot of the stuff I don't plan on doing until at least February of next year. The stuff I'm planning for when I give the big reveal on January 1st, like I did last year for our channel. So, yeah. So, there's a lot of things going on there. Okay. Yeah, and I'll tell you about when the other. I thought that the Nostalgic Pod Blast was this weekend. It's not. They moved it up to next Saturday. But that's fine. That's fine. Mark Malkov, he's the podcast leader uh, that talks about Johnny Carson. That's going to be next Saturday. Yeah, on the 15th. So that'll be nice. 5:35 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you guys and gals check it out. It will be broadcast not only on YouTube, but also Facebook Live and among other streaming. So, yeah, very cool. Make sure you guys and girls check it out, please. Okay, but we'll get to that later. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look then at the next two episodes here from season 3. We got. Oh, I better put my glasses on. I can never usually see without these things. And I'm so blessed that my wife gave me such beautiful glasses. These Foster Grants. They help so much. Help me to be able to see a lot of things. Which is cool. Including the smaller print. Yeah. It's great to see you, Gorilla. Gorilla's Random Thoughts. Make sure you check out his channel. He always has Cinema Sundays, a live stream on Tuesdays for his cigar lounge, his Twilight Zone on Thursdays, and he's got his Waltons on Fridays. So, yeah, make sure you check him out. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at The Witness. Okay, so the first episode is called Witness for the Persecution. This came out it aired on Saturday, October 7th, 1967, according to the IMDb background information. And of course, this is live, so we do live webcams. Yes, even though it's too early for one, as Gorilla has so politely reminded us. Let's see. So this episode got a 7.5 out of 10 from 203 people. Yeah, so I agree. I gave it more of a C plus. Yeah, not quite a B minus. I gave more of a C plus. And then the other episode is called "The Spirit Is Willing," and that one premiered the following weekend, Saturday, October 14th, 1967, and it got a 7.7 out of 10. On that one, 207 people. I did raise that to a straight B, so a straight 8 out of 10 for me. But the other one was C plus, definitely. So, okay. All right, let's talk about the first one, The Witness for the Persecution. Okay. The basic plot is that Chaos is going to stop Smart from testifying against one of their agents. And the director of this episode was James Comack. And you're going to start seeing his name a lot more because I think he did a lot of directing directing abilities here for the episodes. The writers were Sam Bobrick. I almost said Brobrick, man. Yeah. Bill Idelson. And then, of course, the usual cast of characters, Don Adams, Barbara Feldon, Edward Platt. Okay. So, let's see. And, of course, Larrabee comes back, Robert Carvelis, for Control. All right. So the two we're going to look at is George Ives. He plays Dr. Bascom. And then there is Patty Reagan, who plays Mrs. Macklin. Cool. So we'll look at those two people after we go through the stuff. Okay. In this episode, Edward Platt did not appear as chief because due to back problems, so he couldn't do this episode. This was the first episode to reveal the new decoration or color scheme of Maxwell Smart's apartment. Bascom and Max's dialogue at the 22-minute mark is very similar to Neil Simon's The Odd Couple, which opened on Broadway 2 years earlier, back on March 10th of 1965. Series creator Mel Brooks and Neil Simon worked together on the writing staff of Sid Caesar's TV show. Don Adams sings in this episode. He's doing a solo version of When the Saints Go Marching In. And the title, of course, is based on an old movie called Witness for the Prosecution, which came out in 1957. And finally, James Comack, the director of this episode, played photographer Uncle Norman on the MGM's series The Courtship of Eddie's Father, starring Bill Bixby and Brandon Cruz. That's pretty cool. Oh, shoot. I forgot to go get a drink. I'll be right back. It's always something. It's always something. Keep forgetting to drink all the time. So does the Alrighty, I'm back. Love regular Coke with no sugar. Good stuff. All right. Let's go take a look at the goofs here. Okay, according to the information background, there is only one goof that was noticed. Boom mic that was visible. There is a boom shadow in the scene where Smart is in the bedroom and 99 lets him know he's being watched on closed circuit TV. It's very obvious as he steps away from the wall. Nice. Alrighty. And let's see. Remember, no quotes. And, right, as I mentioned, uncredited, it's a traditional song, When the Saints Go Marching In, sung by Don Adams. So very cool. And of course, filmed right there at Paramount Studios. So very cool. All right. Now we'll take a look at the two actor and actress we mentioned, George Ives, who plays Dr. Bascom, and Patty Reagan, who plays Mrs. Macklin. So we'll look at George first. All right. We did lose, unfortunately, George Ives back in 2013. He was born on January 19th, 1926, in New York City, New York. He was known for Intolerable Cruelty, which was a movie back in 2003, The Man Who Wasn't There in 2001, and Mr. Roberts in 1965. He was married twice to Elizabeth Markowitz and Faith Flagg. He died on February 22nd, 2013, in Brentwood, Los Angeles. He was 87 years old. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Going back to the Wayback Machine. Okay. In Mr. Roberts, that was an old TV series where he played Doc for 30 episodes from 65 to 66. Then he was in a very low-ranked B movie called Hot Rods to Hell, where he plays Lank Daly in that, 1966. 2001, he reappeared as the man who wasn't there. He was Lloyd Garraway in that movie. And finally, Mrs. Gutman's lawyer in the movie Intolerable Cruelty from 2003. Before he died, the very last thing he worked on in either television or movies, The Office, which came out in, he did an episode in 2007 playing Uncle Al. And that episode is from season 3, episode 15, and it's called Phyllis's Wedding. Very cool, in 2007. So that was the brief life there bio of George Ives. Rest in peace. Okay, now we'll take a look at our next person here, and that is Patty Reagan. And she spelled it Regan, not like, President Reagan. But anyway, an actress who did pass away, unfortunately, in 1996 at the age of 66. She was tall, auburn-haired character comedienne, a buoyant and robust presence in television sitcoms of the 60s and 70s. Patty was born February 14th, 1930, to Paul and Elsie Need. The last name was maiden name was Lawrence Reagan in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. She attended Clark College in Dubuque, Iowa, and subsequently studied at the University of Wisconsin. And it says here she died June 9th, 1996. So, yes, she died at the age of 66, but born on Valentine's Day, 1930. Oh, cool. Alrighty. And besides this one episode of Get Smart, she also appeared in 1966 in one episode of I Spy with Culp and Bill Cosby. That was from season 2, episode 2, where she played a character named Sheila Stutman in an episode called Lori. And then in The Powers of Matthew Starr from 1983, she was the woman player in that TV series. And that was from season 1, episode 15, called Dead Man's Hand. And finally, in the series Simon and Simon, she was a character called Miriam Martin from 1982. And that episode is called Thin Air. That was season 2, episode 10. Very cool. Let's see. The last thing she worked on, 1988, was a TV movie called David, where she was the woman at the hotel. That was her very last role. So, rest in peace, Miss Patty Reagan. Okay. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and take a look at our next episode, which was called The Spirit is Willing. And let's see. Jay Aldridge. Howdy. I'm glad you're here, my friend. Yeah. Leanna here too, Daddy Mikey. How are you and Mama Suzanne? Aw. Well, we're doing really well, Jay. We're doing all right. Our first snowfall, Jay. Yeah. It's supposed to snow all day today. Right now, it is 31 degrees outside, cloudy, but some snow. Yeah. On the ground. So, Leanna here, Gorilla. Not too early when you're driving up to Arkansas. There you go. There you go. You be safe down there, guys. And when you're traveling to Arkansas today, be careful, please. The roads are going to be nuts. Trust me. It's going to be crazy, crazy driving down there. So please be careful, okay? Please. And I'm glad that you're doing all right, Miss Leanna. We love you. We love you, our daughter. I hope that you continue to recover, full recovery, 100%, babe. We really do miss you. Both of us do. The cats miss you. Mama Suzanne misses you. Daddy Mikey misses you. We all miss you. And Jay, we miss you too, brother. And Jay, um, I'll have a special proposition for you for a special streams that we'll be doing next year. You're one of the choices I definitely made because you really are into some of the music and everything. So yeah, it's music related, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, and well, we got one person still watching, so very cool. All right. So let's take a look here. Maximus hold a seance to get information from a dead informer. The director was Norman Abbott. The writers were Arne Sultan and Norman Paul. And of course, it starred the usual characters Adams, Feldon, and Platt. Okay, we're going to look at Ina, I hope I pronounced that right. Ina Balin. She plays Anne Ferns. And then there is Len Lesser, who plays Vogel. So cool. So there are two people. Byron Moreau. Yeah, Byron Moreau came back as Agent 37. Cool. And Peggy Mondo was Madame Barova. All right. But we're just going to look at Ina Balin playing Anne and Len Lesser playing Vogel. All right. So let's take a look at, let's see here. Here's trivia. Okay. Okay. Here's another episode where Edward Platt did not appear due to his back problems he was having. Let's see. Oh, like the O in score, or Vogel, and G like the G in get, is the German word for bird. Oh, okay. Vogel. Yeah, and get. So Vogel. The title uses the expression "the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." Okay, cool. And there is one character error, and that's Anne Ferris, played by Ina Balin, calls Vogel, played by Len Lesser, the actor's real nickname Les, instead of Vogel. Whoops! That's a big miss. Okay. All right. Remember, no quotes, no soundtrack, and let me guess. It was still made at Paramount Studios. Yes, it was. Okay. Now we'll take a look at the cast and crew. All right, then. Let's see here. Ina. Okay. All right. Miss Ina Balin. Unfortunately, we did lose her in 1990. Not only was she an actress, but also a writer and a producer. And one of her favorite roles was with Elvis, the King of Rock and Roll, Elvis Presley in Charo from 1969. Charo. That's the other way to say it without the twirled R's there. Very cool. Brooklyn native actress Ina Balin, she was also known as Rosenberg, was born on November 12, 1937, into a Jewish family of entertainers. Her parents were Betty, nee Friedman, and Sam Rosenberg, who divorced when she was 9 years old. Her father was a dancer, singer, and a comedian who worked the Borscht Belt. He later quit show business to join his family's furrier business. Her mother was a Hungarian-born professional dancer who escaped a troubled family life by marrying at age 15. Sam was her third husband at age 21, and then they divorced. She was born November 12th, 1937, and died June 20th, 1990. Only the age of 52, so she didn't get a lot of chance to live. Okay. Let's see. In 1961, she appeared in the Comancheros. That's a good Western, as Pilar Grail. In 1960, From the Terrace was a movie, and she was Natalie Benzinger in that. The Patsy from 1964, where she played Ellen Betts. As I mentioned, she was in the movie Charo with Elvis Presley from 1969. And finally, she did appear in one episode of the series from the late 70s, that great sci-fi series Battlestar Galactica, where she plays Cyrus Tinia. And in the episode, it was season 1, episode 18, called Baltar's Escape. Very cool. Alrighty. And her last performance was as in a movie called That's Adequate, where she played Sister Mary Inquirer. That was from 1989. Oh, before that, she was in one episode of Murder, She Wrote, with the late, great Madam Angela Lansbury. She played Stella Gambini, and the episode was called A Very Good Year for Murder, season 4, episode 17 from 88. So that was the bio of Miss Ina Balin. Rest in peace. Okay. And now we'll look at Len Lesser as Vogel. All right. We did lose Len, unfortunately, back in 2011. Not only was he an actor, but he also worked on soundtrack for movies. He was an American, a character actor from the Bronx in New York City. His most famous role was that of Uncle Leo, the maternal uncle of protagonist Jerry Seinfeld in the sitcom Seinfeld. Lesser played his role from 1991 to the series finale in 1998. Lesser was the son of a Polish Jewish immigrant who worked as a grocer in New York City. Cool. He was born December 3rd, 1922, there in the Bronx. He died February 16th, 2011, at the age of 88 years old, back in New York. Okay. All right. So, let's see. All right. So, in Kelly's Heroes, oh, that's a great one with Clint Eastwood. He played Bellamy in that in 1970. In 1973, he was in that awesome movie with Steve McQueen and Dustin Hoffman, the original Papillon. And he played a guard in that. So in 73. And then he returned to be in a role with Clint Eastwood in the movie The Outlaw Josie Wales from 76, where he played Abe. Very cool. And then finally, he finished out his career. He did 14 episodes, like it said, until the series finale of Seinfeld, that TV series from 91 to 98 as Uncle Leo. All right. And in let's see here. Okay, and then 2 years before he died, in 2009, he did appear in the TV series Castle, where he played a neighbor. And the name of that episode was Nanny. I love how they do some of these titles. It was called Nanny McDead, and he was a neighbor from season 1, episode 2 of Castle. So he was in the second episode of that. That is so cool. Okay. So that was the mini bio of Len Lesser. Rest in peace, sir. Okay. All right, so we are done with Get Smart. All right, and I hopefully Wednesday, can't promise that, but hopefully Wednesday I can bring you another 2 episodes, reviews of Get Smart. It's coming Wednesday. Episode 5 will be called Maxwell Smart Private Eye. And then episode 6 is going to be called Supersonic Boom. Very cool. All right, so that is Get Smart. All right, now we'll go to TOS, and we'll look also again at season 3 with the next 2 episodes from season 3, 3 and 4. So let's go to Star Trek. The final season. All right. Okay. Now, season 3, episode 3, in airing order, it came out Friday, October 4th, 1968, and it was called The Paradise Syndrome. Cool. That's like, he became a Native American on this one planet. Very cool. 6.7 out of 10. So it didn't get a very high rating. I can't, in all honesty, give it a C minus. I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a C because it had some good moments, but yeah, But the one I'm definitely giving a C minus to is "And the Children Shall Lead." Whoops, poor Pamela Ferdin in that one. Poor Lucy. Yeah, and then you're ran by a former lawyer, Melvin Belli, who tried to find the Zodiac killer. Yeah, that's got a 5.2 out of 10. So yeah, and over 3,700 people gave it that 6.7 out of 10 for the Paradise Syndrome, but over 3,800 people gave it a 5.2 out of 10. Oh my lord, that's pretty bad. Episode 3, like I said, came out, or it aired. It says here, according to the IMDb background information, October 4th, 1968, and then the following Friday, October 11th, 1968 was the other one. So 2 real stinkers today, I would say. All right, let's see who is in the chat. Whoa, the chat blew up. Yo, awesome. Let's see here. Yeah, so I mentioned, yep, you're going to Arkansas. Okay, Leanna here. Daddy, Mikey, love you. I love you, Daddy, Mikey, and Mama Suzanne. Jay and Friends has a show today in Arkansas. I'll make Jay do it, Daddy. Yay. And there is Captain Infinity Time Travel Police. Captain, hold on just a second. Let me give you a standard mod here at least. Okay. All right, Captain. So congratulations, my friend. You are now a standard mod here at the ChattyBloggerMS, Mikey Sues. Okay. And then Jay says, Leanna here. Daddy Mikey, I want to thank everyone for the prayers and well wishes. It is greatly appreciated and very touching. Thank you all for watching out for my man Jay during this ordeal. Oh, of course, honey. We're there for all of you guys. Leanna here again, Daddy Mikey. I am improving every day. Thank the Lord. I want to thank the off-duty EMT for saving my life and the doctors, nurses, and hospital. Thank you. And Finity says, awesome. Thank you, Mikey. You're welcome. You're welcome, Captain. We got you covered, buddy. And I did see you were doing an earlier Time Travel Police stream. I'm sorry if I had interrupted that or something. I'm sorry. But thank you for well, we had some fun with Jay and you last night. Yeah, that was cool. That was fun. Yeah, very cool. And then I got to play a trivia game with Star Trek. I earned 4,000 points for that game. It was pretty cool. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Good trivia. Yeah, good questions. Yeah. Oh, and there was one about time travel. Yeah, that was awesome fun. Yeah, it was. Yeah. One of the trivia questions was about time travel. It was the city at the edge of a river. That was a Voyager episode, which kind of made fun, I guess, a little bit of City on the Edge of Forever. Yeah. That was the final Jump Nerdy question. Yeah. About time travel. Of course I got it. Come on. I got it. I answered it. I didn't bet a lot though, so anyway, let's see, where are we at? Okay, so let's get let's get this over with. Okay. All right, so the Paradise Syndrome. Okay. So the basic plot is trapped on a planet where inhabitants are descended from northwestern Native Americans. Kirk loses his memory and is proclaimed a god, while the crippled Enterprise races back to the planet before before it is destroyed by an asteroid. The director was Judd Taylor, and the writers were Margaret Arman and Arthur H. Singer. And of course, it featured the usual characters Shatner, Nimoy, and Kelly. Uh, Miramani was played by Sabrina Sharf, so we're going to take a look at her as well. Uh, yeah, and I don't normally do this, but since there weren't that many people in the thing, and a lot of them were uncredited. Some were credited, but not all of them. But Rudy Solari, who plays Salish, yeah, we'll take a look at him as well. This episode also featured Sulu, Takei, Koenig, Chekhov, Majel Barrett, who played Christine Chapel, and oh, here we go. So let's just do this. Okay, so Sabrina will do her quick bio, and then Richard Hale, who plays Goro, Goro. Cool. All right. So we'll do Sabrina and Richard. Very cool. Yeah, because I don't like doing the ones that don't like to show their pictures, it's kind of weird. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look at the trivia. Okay. The obelisk in this episode, which was constructed at Franklin Lake in the Franklin Canyon Reservoir above Beverly Hills, was erected in the same spot where Opie Taylor throws a rock into the lake during the opening credits of the Andy Griffith Show from 1960. The only episode in season 3 to be filmed on a location and not entirely in the studio. And only in this episode do we see the ship firing its gold deflector beam. Nice. And after living on the planet, Kirk's sideburns lose their distinctive pointed ends and become squared off. This was done to emphasize the passage of time and to show Kirk was becoming assimilated to his new life. The characters on the asteroid destroying obelisk are the basis of the alphabet and characters used by the predators of the Alien vs. Predator movie franchise. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, here's a couple spoilers. The original script had Miramani surviving with Kirk's child. Uh, Salish reveals that Kirok, is not a god when he slashes Kirk's hand with a knife and Kirk bleeds. This is similar to Rudyard Kipling's The Man Who Would Be King, in which Daniel Devoe's intended fiancé bites him on the cheek and draws blood, causing the mob to reconsider the godlike awe in which they previously held him. During the love scene where Miramani tells Kirk she's pregnant, a fly lands on Kirk's face for several seconds. The body count is 1, Miramani, unfortunately. So, okay. Of course, like I said, we don't like to do the goofs. Let's take a look at the soundtrack. And there it is, Alexander Courage and Luli G. Norman. All right, and we'll take a look at the filming and production. Right. Now, besides some of the interior filming there at stages 31 and 32 of Paramount, the Franklin Canyon Reservoir, which is up there in the Santa Monica Mountains of LA, was where all the exterior shots were done. And that was filmed from June 11th, 1968 to June 18th, 1968. So a whole week, 7 days. Very cool. All right. Now we'll look at the cast here. And let's see. Already. Yeah. So we were going to look at who was that other guy again? Sabrina. And then, right, and Goro, Richard Hale. There we go. Okay, so let's look at Sabrina. All right. And folks, you'll be happy to know that Sabrina Sharf, the actress, is still alive. One of the movies she's known for was appearing with Peter Fonda and Jack Nicholson in Easy Rider, along with Uh, Dennis Hopper, thank you, from 1969. She was born October 17th, 1943. So, yeah, she just celebrated a birthday. She is 82 years old. Wow. So Sandra Mae Trentman, known as Sandy, was a typical small town girl. She was in grade school when her parents divorced. It was during her seventh grade year when her mother decided that a change was needed, and they left Delphus, Ohio, and headed first to Van Wert, Ohio for 2 years, and then out west to Arizona. I knew I'd recognized her. While attending high school in Tucson, her high school algebra teacher asked her to marry him. At 15, she thought this was her only chance, and if she said no, she would never get asked again, so she said yes. Crazy back then. All right. So let's see. Yeah. So she played Sarah in Easy Rider in 1969. The one episode of, is Miramani in this. Hell's Angels on Wheels. She played Chill in 1967. And in 1966, she did appear in one episode of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. She played Mari Brooks, and the episode was called The Pop Art Affair, Season 3, Episode 6. Very cool. All right. And before she retired, it looks like the very last thing she worked on was the TV series Harry O, where she played Jenny in one episode and Kathy Brennan in a second episode in 1975. And where she played Kathy Brennan was season 1 called For the Love of Money, episode 15. And then in season 2, she played Jenny, which was episode 13 called The Madonna Legacy. Interesting. Even before Madonna came on the scene. Wow, she even did the streets of San Francisco. I gotta see that one. She played Miana in that, and from 75, and it was season 3, episode 23, called Solitaire. That great one with Michael Douglas. Yes, very cool. All right, so she's the lovely 82 years old. Very cool, Sabrina Sharf. Alrighty, probably back in Arizona. I wouldn't doubt it. Okay, let's look at Richard Hale. Okay, unfortunately, we did lose Richard Hale in 1981, an actor. Uh, he was in a movie called Kim from 1950. Okay, so Richard Hale was born on November 16th, 1892, in Rogersville, Tennessee. He was an actor known for Scaramouche in 1952, Star Trek, of course, and To Kill a Mockingbird in 1962. He was married to Fiona O'Sheill, Catherine Hamill, and Temple Duncan, so 3 times. He died on May 18th, 1981, in Northridge, California. He was 88 years old, Richard Hale. All right, in 1952's Scaramouche, he played Perigore. In 1962's To Kill a Mockingbird, he played Nathan Radley. And, of course, Goro in this episode. And then in 1953, way back, he played a soothsayer in Julius Caesar. And the last thing he was in 1985, he played Mr. Wiley in a movie called Evil Town. Ah, very cool. All right. And he also was in How the West Was Won. I probably should say that too, real quick. He played an old man in that for 2 episodes in 1978. From season 2, episode 7, he was in Robber's Roost. And then 3 episodes later, season 2, episode 10, called Gold, How the West Was Won. Yeah, that was a great series. Oh, policewoman too. Nice. All right, so that was the brief bio of Mr. Hale. Rest in peace, Richard. Okay. Alrighty, and now we'll move on to our final episode review today, Season 3, Episode 4, And the Children Shall Lead. Yikes. I hope I go through that one quick. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Captain. That was awesome fun. Leanna here, Daddy Mikey. Wow, congratulations. I'll tell Jay how well you did. Yeah, Jay likes to know, but they did allow me on last night. I made 4,000 points. I did pretty well. And I beat Brad Wolf. I got to play Brad Wolf for the first time, Jay. That was awesome. Leanna here again. Daddy Mike, you were pulling up to the gig, as Jay says. Now the unpacking starts. Don't worry, Daddy. I'm not helping unpack. Can't do anything that will be a strain on my heart. Yeah, please don't. Yeah, let all the boys do that, Leanna. You get to hang out and chill. Yeah, please. And we got two people watching. So very cool. Please remember, don't forget to hit the like button if you like what you see this morning. Of course, also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We have 33 subscribers at present, but we're trying to get some more before the end of the year. I'll be happy if we get to at least 50. That will make me happy. I'll be happy with that. Um, let's see what else is going on. Oh yeah, don't forget to share this with all your friends and family. And of course, don't forget, hit that notification bell. You know, I'm going to learn one of these days to bring this with me. There you go. Yeah. Don't forget that, hit that notification bell so that you can be notified of any future podcasts, any live webcams like this, and any live streams we plan on doing towards the end of the year. I'm going to be interviewing one of our dear friends, our niece, Charlotte, in December, and also one of our friends, Sci-Fi Sifdan, in December. So, and then we got a lot of things planned for next year. Yeah, so a lot of things coming up. It's so glad to hear from you, Leanna. I'm so glad that you're typing and listening. And good luck to Jay today with his awesome, awesome, concert. Yeah, definitely, definitely glad you guys are going to have some fun today. Alrighty, well, here we go. And the children shall lead. And of course, the plot is the Enterprise reaches a Federation colony where the adults have all killed themselves or made themselves unalive, but the children play without care. The director is Marvin J. Chomsky. The writers were Edward J. Laxo and Arthur H. Singer. Of course, the usual suspects. Okay. Now, Tommy Starnes was played by Craig Huxley, but back then he called himself Craig Hunley. So we'll actually look at him. And I know what Melvin Belli did. So let's see if I can find Pamela Ferdinand. There she is, Mary. So we're going to look at Pamela and we're going to look at Craig. So very cool. All right, let's take a look at the trivia, the main trivia. Okay. Leonard Nimoy explained that when he complained about the script to Fred Freeberger, Freeberger said, "This script is going to be what Miri should have been." Nimoy objected, calling Miri's episode 1966 a beautiful, well-acted story, and felt that Freeberger's comments were as much as saying Miri was a piece of trash. This was lawyer Melvin Belli's, who played the Gorgon, first time playing a fictional character. His son, Melvin Caesar Belli, plays one of the children, Stevie. Well, I didn't know that. This is the only episode of the original series in which we see the fully fledged United Federation of Planets flag. Previous appearances, such as the Menagerie Part 2 from 66, simply used the pre-existing United Nations flag. Walter Koenig considered this to be the worst episode of the series. You should know. While he felt that the episode was very poor overall, his biggest complaint was the casting of Melvin Belli as Gorgon. Firstly, because it severely undermined the main villain, and secondly, because he considered it an act of stunt casting, which had robbed professional actors from a potential job. Producer Fred Freeberger hoped that the presence of Melvin Belli would boost ratings. This plan failed, and Freeberger realized it would have been more appropriate to cast an actor in the role. Okay, we do have a cameo and a spoiler. Okay, so originally in the spoiler, the children were supposed to enchant the Enterprise crew by chanting, "See, what shall he or she see," and then complete the chant by describing the effect of the chant on the crew member. However, these chants were dropped, and in the final episode, the children used their powers by moving their fists up and down in the air. The only chant that is heard in the episode is the one that summons the angel Gorgon. Okay. And a cameo by Chad Everett. He was uncredited as the crewman in auxiliary control who helped Scotty fight off Kirk and Spock. Nice. All right, Chad Everett. Okay, so no goofs. Let's see here. Okay, we're looking at the soundtrack. Okay, so along with the Alexander Courage theme and Louis G. Norman singing, Rain Around the Rosie, which was performed by Craig Huxley, Mark Robert Brown, Pamela Ferdin, Brian Tochi, and Melvin Caesar Bella. Nice. Okay, so, and of course, filmed at the two stages I mentioned previously, 31 and 32 of Paramount, and the filming dates were June 27th, 1968 to July 5th, 1968. Cool. All right. Now let's look at Craig and we'll look at Pamela. Let's see here. All right. Okay, Craig Huxley. He is still around. Not only is he an actor, but he is also a composer of music and he has worked in the music department. He was born November 22nd, 1954. And so right now, he's the age of 70, but he'll turn 71 in November. So, or this month, yeah, in about 13 days from now. Cool. Uh, Remember, let's see here. Craig Huxley is an Emmy winning and Grammy nominated musician and soundtrack producer who has been involved in a wide range of entertainment related projects. And he did play Peter James Kirk on Star Trek TOS for Star Trek. He played his nephew, I believe, in that. Yeah, that's cool. Yep, there's his nephew in the episode. Operation Annihilate. There we go. Excuse me. Okay. Hold on. Let me get a drink here. I'm sorry. All right. So Craig appeared as himself in a documentary called Star Trek Inside the Roddenberry Vault in 2016. I think that was one of the last things he did. In 2017, he appeared in 15 episodes of The Orville, but he appeared as the composer for music for the series. So he worked in the music department for 15 episodes of that with Seth MacFarlane. 2012, Michael Jackson, The Immortal World, which was a TV movie. He worked in the music department for that. And in 1989, in Dead Poets Society with Robin Williams, he worked on the music department of that. So, yeah, Craig Huxley. Okay. And he worked on the Orville from 2017 to 2022. He did the blaster beam electronics on that, along with the music, for 15 episodes. And in the movie that featured the great Charlize Theron in Atomic Blonde, he was the producer for the Synclavier sound package and a blaster beam in that, 2017. Ooh, he also worked on 10 Cloverfield Lane, the sequel to Cloverfield, where he was a featured musician and blaster beam in 2016 for that. So that was the one that featured John Goodman. So yeah, wow. Craig Huxley. Awesome. All right. 70 years young and still performing. All right. So now we'll take a look at Pamela Ferdin. There she is. All right. Pamela Ferdin, not only an actress, but also she does voiceovers and soundtrack. Of course, she was one of the voices in Charlotte's Web from 1973. And Miss Pamela Ferdin was born on February 4th, 1959, in Los Angeles, California. And she's known for The Beguiled in 1971 As I said, she also did voice for Charlotte's Web in 1973, and she did the voice of Lucy in A Boy Named Charlie Brown from 1969. And she did all the other Lucy voiceovers for that. She was previously married to Jerry Vlasak. Um, so yeah, she is now 66 years old. Cool. All right. And let's see, in The Beguiled, she played the role of Amy. That was in 1971. And of course, she was Fern Arable, voice in 1973 in Charlotte's Web. Of course, she did Lucy Van Pelt and all the, like I said, in all the Charlie Brown movies and TV series and stuff. So 1969. And the Toolbox Murders in 1978, she played Laurie Ballard in that. Wow, cool. Based on a true story. Okay, currently the last thing she worked on was Elf Sparkle Meets Christmas the Horse. That's a TV movie where she voiced Christmas the Horse in 2009. Well, that makes sense. Okay. And wow, okay. And then a TV series called Detention. She was in 13 episodes of that, which was an animated series apparently from 1999 to 2000. And in that, she voiced Shelley Kelly. That was her persona in that. Cool. She also appeared in Vegas, Project UFO, 240 Robert. Nice. Heidi's song. Wow, she did that too. That's so cool. Chips, she was in. Wow, Space Academy. Yeah. So, Miss Pamela Ferdin. Very cool. All right. Well, I'm so glad that she's alive. Yeah, she's my favorite. You know, Lucy is one of my favorites from Charlie Brown. Yeah. And she voiced it perfect. So, okay. Alrighty, and that was the final mini bio and also the final episode today. We're reviewing from both Get Smart and TOS and the Children's Show Lead. So next week, or following week or day, Wednesday, we're looking at episode 5 and episode 6. There is that great episode on episode 5 called Is There in Truth No Beauty, which of course features the great Diana Muldaur in one of her first roles. And then later on she played Dr. Pulaski in the TNG, right? And then the next episode is Spectre of the Gun. Very cool. That one where they're in Tombstone, but on a different planet. And yeah, very cool there. So you got 2 pretty cool episodes next week, or on Wednesday. So very cool. Alrighty. Leanna here. Okay, Leanna here, Daddy Mikey. I love all of you, and I'm giving you all a great big kiss and hug. We love you too. Mwah. From both of us, honey. I miss saying hi to my other baby PPP. Take care. Aw. Well, you take care too, Leanna. You and Jay both. Enjoy yourselves. And I want to thank Captain Finity of the Time Travel Police for being here today as well. Thank you, sir, for coming, and congrats on becoming a standard mod for our channel. And let's see. And of course, like I said, the wonderful Jay Aldridge and Leanna. And I want to thank Gorilla for starting us off today. Thank you, Gorilla, for being here. So I appreciate all of you. Okay. Thank you. Alrighty. So, as we like to say here at ChattyBloggerMS, Mikey Suze, my beautiful wife who says, leave everything in God's hands. That's the best way to be. And, of course, she tells me, enjoy the snow. It is snowing, and it's 29 degrees outside. So, yes, I'm going to enjoy that today. Just to sit back and have some fun with it. Let's see. Also, of course, our brother Larry, he's doing well. So thank you all for asking. He does say, always be yourself. Best thing you can ever say, and the best piece of advice I've ever heard. It's very simple. Also, there was that great guy, Gene Siskel of Siskel and Ebert at the Movies back in the 80s and 90s. My favorite movie critic who always said, and now the aisle is closed. So I want to thank him for that. And last but not least, brother Matt, Matt Arnold, who told me, remember, you'll never know where you'll hear or see me next. So make sure you keep an eye out for me as I appear on some uh, wonderful panels and so on. So always fun. Okay. All right. So, like I said, the plans next week pretty simple. Wednesday, sometime Wednesday, I'll go into episode. Yeah, on November 11th, I'll go into episode. Actually, that'll be Tuesday. I take that back. I'm so sorry. Okay, so Tuesday, November 11th. 2 days later, I'll go into episodes 5 and 6 sometime during that Tuesday. No big deal. Whatever time I decide to put it out there. Forget Smart and TOS. Like I said, season 3, episodes 5 and 6 for both. That'll be Tuesday. Then I got nothing else planned for the rest of the week until Saturday. Saturday will be two different situations. Charlotte Nightstar, uh, our agent Charlotte Nightstar, the werewolf. She will be doing a live stream on Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon. Hopefully with my brother Larry on Saturday, and then on Sunday with Ezra Carter, our actor friend there from Hollywood. And of course, on Saturday evening at 5:35 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be talking to Mark Malkoff, who does a podcast on behalf of Johnny Carson, the late great Johnny, who redefined late night television until everybody else tried to copy in his tracks. So that's coming up Saturday evening at 5:35 p.m. Eastern. And that's all I plan on doing this whole week, really, pretty much. Sometimes I will appear on my brother Jay over there in Michigania with his wonderful partner Nikki and the captain. Be there on some of the shows they might do during the week, what they call his Jay's shenanigans. Talk about all sorts of things. It's always fun. Yes, I did make up finally and forever with Jim's Landscape LLC #1 Commodore Productions. So make sure you check out his channel, please, because he does have a lot of pretty good content there in regards to fan films regarding Star Trek. And don't forget to check out Brother Jay's Sci-Fi Nation. He's known by. Check out his shenanigans whenever they pop up. And on Tuesday nights, I plan on. I also have planned these. I have and scheduled every 2 weeks. I do this show with my friends Sabrina and Sean. They call it the Hilljack Happy Hour. It's funny as hell. It's hilarious. Make sure you guys check that out because it is funny. We have a good time. We talk about a lot of different things. So, yeah, it's fun. Other than that, that's pretty much it for the rest of this week. Hope all of you take care of yourselves. Be safe out there because obviously we've got the Arctic vortex and everything else that's hit us. So, yeah, please be safe on the roads and everything else like that. So, all right. So, God bless America. God bless Canada. God bless Europe and the rest of this world. As you know, we only have one of it. So, make sure that we take care of it as the guardians and stewards of this life and make sure we can provide a nice, beautiful earth for the rest of our future generations as well as a fragile peace around the earth. That would be nice too. And, we have to, one thing I do want to mention real quickly is I know I don't like politics of any kind. I really don't want to talk about politics ever, if I can ever avoid it. But I will say that the leaders that are in place, it's what we got right now. We have to be able to get through the people that are there in charge until God, in His benevolent wisdom, decides to help people understand what's going on and bring into the fold maybe more capable politicians, if that's even possible. So all we can do is hope and pray. That's pretty much it at this point. So just letting you know, it's out there, it hangs. On occasion I might do my JAS, I might do a special edition, which I did last night because they were announcing the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees for this year. And of course, my friend, God bless him, rest in peace. Uh, you know, my friend there, Chris Cornell, he used to be the lead singer for Soundgarden and also Audio Slave, Temple of the Dog, and so on. Yeah. So rest in peace, Chris, and always, as always. And I'm glad your group finally got into the Hall of Fame. They deserved it. They really did. And Jack White of the White Stripes got in too with his sister. So very cool. And he had a good thing last year. He did for like 2 minutes and I think like 15 seconds. He had a really good speech that he gave. And thank God and everything. And I mean, I thought it was wonderful. Good speech. Yeah. So I like that. Seeing that about Jack White. And Chubby Checker got in. Joe Cocker. Oh, yeah, Joe Cocker got in. I love making fun of him. But he got in. And there was a couple of other people got in too. Carol Kay. Wow. Yeah. She did some great TV, themes and things like that. So yeah, she got in too. Very cool. Yeah, some good people got in. Let's just put it this way: the people that got in, including Cyndi Lauper, girls just want to have fun, right? Yeah, she got in too. So yeah, there were some good entrances into the Hall of Fame last night. So check that out. By the way, it's available right now on Disney Plus. The whole entire uh, show itself. ABC.com probably has some leftover, and I'm sure within a few days, YouTube will have just snippets of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame show that are put out there because I know they already just did Jack White's speech last night, so and they put that out already. So make sure you check that out there on YouTube, out there in the YouTube land we all live in. So, on behalf of my beautiful wife Suzanne, and of course our beautiful cats Moon Pie and Deja Vu. And also I want to thank our adopted daughter Leanna, along with our brother Jay from Louisiana, Captain Finity there from Australia, or excuse me, no, New Zealand. There, I stopped myself before I made that damn mistake. All right, and of course, thank you again, Gorilla, uh, for appearing first in the box there from Minnesota. So, on behalf of everyone in the chat, everybody we know throughout YouTube and X Ray and Facebook, and of course, StreamYard, I want to thank all of you for being here today. We really do appreciate it. And, well, God bless everyone. Remember, be safe out there, okay? All right. We'll talk to you again on Chatty Blogger MS on Wednesday or Tuesday. Tuesday. Yeah. See you soon. There we go. That's quick.